He's Rahul Gandhi's Man Friday on foreign soil. He was by Rahul Gandhi's side right through his UK tour, which grabbed all the headlines and has triggered a huge meltdown here in Indian Parliament, both inside and outside. He's the man known to have crafted many of the things Rahul perhaps said while in the United Kingdom, including the entire foreign hand controversy, and he's also defended Rahul Gandhi against the huge political backlash here in India. Breaking his silence for the first time, Sam Pitroda, live and exclusive now with India's #1 political reporter, Rajdeep Sardesai.
And joining me now is the chairperson of the Indian Overseas Congress, Sam Pitroda joins me. Appreciate your joining us there from Chicago. Sam Pitroda, you've put out a few tweets on what's been happening over Rahul Gandhi's comments in the United Kingdom. I want your first reaction, though, to the fact that in the last 3 days, the government has been demanding an apology from Rahul Gandhi. How do you respond to the government's demand that Rahul Gandhi apologize for his remarks in the United Kingdom, because you were there by his side right through?
Rahul Gandhi did not say anything that require any kind of apology. In a democracy like ours, if someone feels very strong about something, he has all the rights to say it. The fact is that what he said has been twisted, lies are being propagated, misinformation is in main demand, and this has become a way of life in India. Unfortunately, it happens most of the time with Rahul Gandhi. So I was a little bit concerned because he didn't say any of those things. Of course, he said then that Indian democracy is going through challenge. I also believe that, mainly because our institutions are captured. You look at media, the amount of time media spends on trivial issues with Rahul Gandhi is absolutely out of proportion. The entire national media gets ganged up on an issue in a country where there are larger issues like economy, inflation, unemployment, education, all the promises government made. What happened to it? There is no debate on any of these real issues. But nation is obsessed for 3 days on what Rahul Gandhi did not say. Rahul Gandhi never invited any foreign country to participate. Rahul Gandhi very clearly said that this is our challenge and we will deal with it. So what is the sense in lying, twisting? I just don't get it. And then the question of apology. There is no
Can I just stop you for a moment, Mr. Can I just stop you for a moment, because there were a few remarks of Rahul Gandhi that raised a controversy on this so-called foreign intervention. He says in an address in Hounslow to the Indian diaspora, the surprising thing is so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States and European countries, seem to be oblivious that huge chunks of the democratic model in India have come undone, which is a real problem. The opposition is fighting that battle. The battle is for huge democratic people. The opposition has placed the vision on the table. Now, this is being interpreted by the BJP to suggest he is calling for intervention from the US and European countries. In another speech,
First of all, it's a wrong interpretation. But as far as I'm concerned, Indian democracy is global public good. Indian democracy should be everybody's concern. If democracy fails in India, democracy will have huge impact. So this is not about India. It is not about Hindutva. It is about Manavta. We need to worry about the world first. I am more concerned about planet and people than power and profits. I think we are at a point in the history today.
But Mr. Pitroda, Mr. Pitroda, could Rahul Gandhi have been a little bit? Could Mr. Rahul Gandhi have been a little bit more nuanced when you are dealing with sensitive issues?
So.
For example, in Cambridge, there was a Sikh gentleman in front of him, and he said Sikhs are being reduced to second-class citizens. When you make these comments, could you be more nuanced?
It's okay to make that comment. You are a democratic country. I mean, what is the problem? If one feels that way, it's perfectly normal. You can disagree with him. That's okay.
But you're seen to be overly negative. You're seen to be constantly negative and dissing on your own country on foreign soil.
So what's the problem though? I mean, what is this idea that you can't say anything against your country on foreign soil? Who came up with this concept? The world is everybody's. So this whole idea that you can't go to foreign country and say something, you can say whatever you want to say. What's the problem? I just don't get it. Where is the problem? You should be.
You could be more nuanced instead of making sweeping remarks. You know, democracy in India is messy and chaotic. But to say that democracy is finished.
Of course, I also feel that democracy is not finished.
Is it an overstatement?
Democracy is attacked, and someone feels that it is finished. That's okay. That's their judgment. You can say, I don't agree with your judgment. That's perfectly normal. But the attack after attack in an organized way with media support is what I'm concerned about. Okay? Poor guy can't even scratch. If you scratch, you will say, why did you scratch in foreign countries? I mean, let's be reasonable. Let's be civilized. Let's give him some space. Poor fellow has no space. Why is everyone so obsessed with what he says, how he said, every word of it, every sentence of it, every tone of it? He's also a human being. He should have the same freedom you and I have. Of course, he's a leader of a party, one of the key leaders in the country. We all respect that. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings. I also say things in America about India. That doesn't mean I'm against India. I'm not nationalist. I say things about America, being in America. Nobody has ever asked me anything. I've said lots of negative things about America. In America, abroad, I am a human being first. I'm more concerned about humanity than about nationality. So now you don't have to agree with me.
But isn't but Sam Pitroda, isn't it more important for a leader who aspires to the highest office in India to offer his own vision, his own positive narrative of India, rather than constantly focusing on the negatives and bashing Narendra Modi? That surely Rahul Gandhi has more to offer as to what the Congress party and he stands for, rather than focus on Mr. Modi all the time.
Rajdeep, that is his option. And this is your opinion, which is fine. I respect that.
But, you know, the point which I'm coming to, Sam Pitroda, is Rahul Gandhi goes to the United Kingdom and makes observations which at times can be challenged. For example, when he says, I'm not allowed to speak at all in Parliament, he just gave a 1-hour speech on the...
No, Rajdeep, the observation can be challenged.
So what you are saying, in a democracy, let me understand what you are saying. Sure. You know, what you are saying is that you're calling for a debate. You're calling for you're calling for a debate, a dialogue, a conversation. You're saying every time I say something critical of you doesn't mean I'm anti-India, doesn't mean I need to apologize to you. Am I correct?
Of course. Let me give you an example. Okay. During last election, I said something was completely twisted, misrepresented. Media went wild. Nobody came and asked me, Mr. Pitroda, what did you mean by that? This is the state of communication in India. You go talk to any civil society people, NGOs, They will tell you, we are being harassed. There are unnecessary court cases on us. ED has been sent to us. And I can give you a list of 50 of those. That means civil society is not functioning well. Isn't that a concern in a democracy? Of course it's a concern in democracy. How can I not speak about it? That doesn't mean I'm anti anybody. I'll give you another example. Very simple example, personal example. There was a Padyatra in New York. I participated in it because it was Indian Overseas Congress had organized. Because of my health, I don't take long walk, but I did walk about 1.5 kilometers. It was pretty successful. Next day, within 24 hours, I get a letter from ED saying, when did you become member of the Congress party? What is your designation? I wrote to them. I said, why do you have to know that? Immediately I got a response back, saying according to law A 7937 -- whatever. I said, look, I don't understand what you are saying. It is basically intimidation, harassment. You have to be at the other end to really realize what happens. And when these kinds of things go on,
Mr. Pitroda,
you think that the democracy...
Mr. Pitroda, the point that I'm coming at, I would agree that Rahul Gandhi has every right to express his views. But when you express your views and you're a person of stature, you have to be careful of every word, because every word will be picked up by someone or the other.
That's so as I said, when you refer in the audience to seats being
becoming second-class community, there will be a backlash.
That we will see. The point is, we all have right to say how we feel in a democracy. Don't put your interpretation as the only interpretation. We are all human beings. We live in a democratic society. We have a view. If you don't agree with my view, I respect that. But don't gang up on me. Don't ask 50 people to immediately go on TV and start attacking me. Don't have an orchestrated, well-organized, well-oiled machine released on you. I think that is the issue I'm concerned about. It's okay for you to have a conversation with me, and it's okay for you to disagree with me. I respect that. Why should you and I agree on everything? Let's have civilized discourse. Let's not have personal attacks all the time on every issue at every minute.
The government would say Rahul Gandhi has also constantly attacked Prime Minister Modi. So it's become very bitter, personal, and there's enmity. And that's the problem why Indian democracy has become dysfunctional. In Parliament, for example, the two sides simply don't see eye to eye. That's the real problem.
No, I don't think that's a real problem at all. Okay, I think you are wrong. Prime Minister is the Prime Minister of a country. Every citizen has a right to criticize Prime Minister. There's nothing wrong with it, because he is, at the end of the day, Prime Minister of everybody and not a group of people. He needs to represent the entire country. And if somebody criticizes him, Prime Minister should be big enough to take criticism. I worry when Prime Minister talks on public media, the way he talks sometimes. To me, that's not dignified way for a Prime Minister to attack somebody. Others can attack Prime Minister. Remember that. But Prime Minister of my country is a Prime Minister for everybody. And it's okay for me to criticize him. He has to have broad shoulders to take a lot of criticism and not go into tutu meme. When Prime Minister does that, It bothers me.
So in conclusion, Sam Pitroda, you'd say that Rahul Gandhi has no reason to have any regrets or apologize.
He didn't say anything.
And
He
you
didn't say
believe
anything.
that actually what he's done.
He didn't say anything. Just go look at his videos.
You
Just
keep
examine
saying
it. You may have an interpretation, but that's your interpretation. You are entitled to that. I respect that. But my interpretation is different. Okay? So calm down.
Right.
Lower the temperature.
So Sam Pitroda,
Take a deep breath.
you're calling for people to calm down, to lower the temperature. Just tell me one last thing, as someone who's very close to Rahul Gandhi, how much has this affected Rahul Gandhi, the person? You've known him closely over the years. There are those who try to project him as more of now a party ideologue, not a day-to-day politician. Is that part of the problem? How much of all of this has affected him as a person?
There is no problem. First of all, when you say there is part of the problem, you are predefining that there is a problem and this is a piece to it. There is no problem. He is what he is. I think Yatra has really helped him a lot in terms of connecting with people, in terms of understanding what the real problems of the people are compared to what media projects. There is a disconnect between media, politics, big business, and people on the ground. People on the ground are more concerned about unemployment, inflation, growth. People on the ground want their life to be little better, while media and everybody is on completely different platform. They have a different conversation going on, and which is true in many countries. It is not just true in India. You go to US, you will find the same thing. Media is debating geopolitical issues.